Captain Sparkles or CPK? Who's going to be more likely to end up in top 10 individual?
I think it's Captain Sparkles.
That I'm going to pick Captain Sparkles. CPK. I, Lockie, have made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment. And I was wrong. Oh, so very, very wrong. And for that I am sorry. I hope that you can forgive me.
Hi everyone, welcome to the post-show. MCC 15 has come and gone, and right now we're going to talk about it, so a fair spoiler warning, because we will be talking about pretty much everything that happened. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also remember that we are not the Nox crew. So, with that out of the way, let's get into the teams and how each one did. So, Lucario, you want to kick us off?
Starting off in 10th place, we have the Lime Llamas, who really underperformed this MCC, especially Fruitberries, who many people thought would be a top player, but he sadly scored 19th. They did do very well in the hole in the wall, though.
In 9th place, we have Aqua Team. Although they didn't necessarily have a great performance, Kratzy was able to have some incredible individual moments, such as his ace in Battle Box, as well as 3 kills in survival games.
And next up is the Orange Ocelots. Even with that crazy commotion that went down with Pete, seeing him snapped out of existence like it was Thanos or something, they had H-Bomb come in as a replacement, and their best game was survival games, yes.
And in 7th place, we had the Cyan Creepers, a team of half rookies, half veterans, made their way and had a brilliant performance in Battle Box.
Up next, we had the Dream SMP team, the Green Guardians, who did very well in games such as Hole in the Wall and Parkour Tag.
Led by Illumina, we have the Purple Pandas, who came in 5th, a very average placement, and this is also proven that Illumina can actually lose an MCC. Their best game was Sands of Time, led by Illumina getting lots of coins, and Ren popping off as a Sandkeeper.
The Blue Bats finished in 4th, with their best game being Parkour Tag. This was a team that many thought would do well, and they lived up to the hype, even with Preston being a first-time player.
In 3rd place were the Pink Parrots, coming in with Rambu's great debut. The team managed to pop off in Sky Battle, but were ultimately beat out to Dodgeball by the 2 other teams.
In the 2nd place, we have the Yellow Yaks, who finally broke the captain's curse of 3rd place with an absolutely phenomenal performance in Ace Race, one of the best we've ever seen. But they sadly lost in Dodgeball to this team.
And in 1st place, the team that everybody was rooting for, I'm kidding, it was the Red Rabbits. They were led by an incredible run in survival games, brought them into 1st place overall, and they swept Dodgebolt, claiming the win. So, with Red being as dominant and as effective as they were, what's everyone's reactions and takeaways to their performance?
Well, I think you just said it best. The Red had a very dominant performance. They smashed it all the way through to the end. I mean, survival games is its own story, and they made it to Dodgebolt, and then they won Dodgebolt. Now, I don't think anyone was surprised, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It was just a wonderful display of skill from both Dream and Sapnap. You know, I expected it for them to make it to Dodgebolt. I'm pretty sure everyone on the show expected them to make it to Dodgebolt. Even my great aunt Kathy, who doesn't even know what a Minecraft is, expected for them to make it to Dodgebolt. And honestly, good job to them. It was incredible performance from all of them, and they beat out the underdogs Yellow Yaks in a 3-0 Dodgebolt sweep. Joey?
Completely agree with you, Lockie. I mean, enough can't be said about how Sapnap performed this MCC, and Dream's performance alongside him was enough to help carry the team through to the Dodgebolt, but I think not enough has been said about Quackity and Michael McChill, who put up good performances in a support player role. They weren't expected to get 2,000 coins or 2,500 coins or anything like that, but they still went out there, secured rounds in Battle Box, helped make Parkour Tag happen, helped be intimidating in survival games, and without their presence and their supportiveness, I mean, you wouldn't have seen such a high score from Sapnap. Lucario, you agree with that?
In a way, yeah. I do think they were absolutely just needed for this win to happen, but I feel like you did lowball Sapnap and Dream's performances. Sapnap had no reason to do it as well in this MCC as he did. He almost broke the individual point record that was set by Technoblade back when MCC was first starting. He almost got a 3-peat in Hole in the Wall. He did absolutely amazing. And then Dream, right after MCC 14, when everyone was like, okay, Dream is washed, he's not doing as good, he's out of his form, he comes back and gives us this absolute banger of a performance. It was so good from the two of them. I'm so glad to see them coming into their own players, especially Sapnap, who coming into MCC was under Dream's shadow a lot. So nobody can really say that anymore, as Sapnap completely blew everyone out of the water. So Stein?
Props to all 4 players on the red team, but let's also remember yellow and pink teams had a very surprisingly good performance as well. I can say myself, I predicted yellow and pink teams to place rather low, but it was a pleasant surprise to see them popping off, winning games, and doing really well. So I think massive credit has to be given to the 8 players on both of those teams as well.
I mean, I think this opens up the discussion with how well Sapnap did about his place in S tier, S tiers in general, because without Pete scoring the top 5, obviously due to internet issues, but Fruit definitely scoring outside the top 5, it seems like the old S tiers aren't up there anymore.
Yeah, literally the top 3 players in this MCC were players that haven't traditionally been considered S tiers. So it kind of raises the question of, is the concept of an S tier valid anymore? Or are we just going to get completely different players placing high in each MCC now?
I mean, I feel like the concept of an S tier still in theory exists in terms of a player's individual skill, because obviously some players are just absolutely insane at the game. You take a look at Illumina, his movement is basically almost unmatched in how fast he is. But in terms of MCC placement, it's a lot harder to say if S tiers actually do exist. I don't think they do, just because anything can happen, as we've seen with Fruitberries and Dream just in the past 2 MCCs. 2 very well-respected S tiers just not performing up to their usual standard. They're still amazing players, but it's just not what we're used to.
I feel like you might be able to have S tiers within a certain game, but if you combine all the games and all the factors that going into winning MCC, there's just too many variables there, and I don't think that you can have a concept of a consistent S tier throughout all 8 games, throughout all of the decision dome and all of the different variables that go into doing well. Very interesting points brought up by everyone, but now it's time to talk about all the newcomers to this MCC and how they did.
We're going to talk about Rambu. Alright, yeah, Rambu, my man. His first MCC, MCC 15, I think he did incredible. You have to agree. That is an incredible performance from a first-time player. He was on the Pink Parrots. They came 3rd, which is insane, because if you consider how close they got to Dodgeball, they almost had it. And they, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. It could have gone any way. And just as close as it came to survival games, it did come down to the last game, which means he played well throughout the entire event. And he did, because he ended up 14th individual. And that 14th, that is in the top half. That is so close to the top 10 on his first time playing. He also got first in one of the to get to the other side maps in Skydive. That's incredible. And it was a close finish too with Sapnap.
One of 2 rookies on the Cyan Creepers, 5UP came into this MC not known for his Minecraft skills. Mainly known for playing Among Us, Valorant, and other games, he's really not seen as much of a crafter. But he took that as a challenge. He trained, he practiced, he grinded, and he got those skills up so that when he came in MCC, he made a splash. Although their team finished 7th overall, they had almost a flawless round in BattleBox with an 8-1 record, mainly due to their good team communication and 5UP showing off those PvP skills he had grinded. So hopefully, this won't be his last MCC, and we'll see him in the future to get even better.
The second newbie on the Cyan Creepers is Antfrost, and he absolutely smashed it for his first event. He placed a solid 15th individually with a strong performance in a lot of PvP games like BattleBox and Sky Battle. He absolutely killed it in BattleBox, getting 2nd place overall for the entire game. He was a fan favorite coming into this, and I guess the fans had a lot of good faith in him because he definitely showed it off. He was mainly just known for being on the Dream SMP and being in the Manhunt videos, but this should definitely make him stand out more. So overall, Antfrost had an amazing performance his first time. I would love to see him on some other teams, like maybe with some of the Manhunt people, some Dream SMP people, but regardless, I'm glad we have him, and I would love to see him get back again to do even better.
But we haven't yet talked about the highest placing rookie in MCC yet. We haven't talked about my guy Preston. This guy finished 12th individually on his first event, and keep in mind, this guy was barely able to get in any practice. Some of the highlights from his performance is that he finished 3rd in parkour tag in his first ever game of MCC. He even survived his first ever round of parkour tag. That is incredible for a new player. He survived 3 total rounds in parkour tag. He also helped his team finish very highly in Sands of Time when they got 2nd. Another notable thing he did is in survival games, when he was the last person standing on his team, he managed to secure 2 kills, one of which was on Wisp. He has a bright future in MCC, and I could easily see him as an A+ tier. So, the next thing we're going to do in our show is we're going to head over to Freeze Frame. Joey and Lucario, take it away.
Alright, so welcome to a new segment called Freeze Frame. How this works is me and my host here are going to react to a couple of clips that were chosen by our editors. All we can see right now is the first frame, so we gotta predict what happens, and then the clip's gonna play out, and we'll see how we did. Starting off with the first frame here, it appears to be Kratzy and Ace Race. What do you think's gonna happen?
I mean, it's the beginning, right? Nothing can really go wrong. Does he just fall off to the side there? That's about the only thing I can see happening.
I mean, Kratzy did very well on the Ace Race the first time around, so I don't see anything really happening. Maybe he found like a tiny skip or something? Let's see what happens.
He's going, he's running.
Going,
just like he's supposed to.
Start.
This is not the time for my cat to go
on the
my
keyboard.
keyboard.
Cat
Oh my
in
god.
the game.
No!
They've never done this ever.
Oh my god!
Clearly, the orange ocelot's
I
on
don't even know what's going on.
not on Kratzy's side.
This
That's
is
his
so
own
sabotage.
unfortunate.
As his own
They've
cat
never
is
done
rooting
that
against
ever
him.
in my entire life.
Gotta love your furry friends, but that's some bad timing right there. Alright. Let's take a look at the next clip. It is, next clip we have...
Tapple in Sky Battle.
Okay.
Just killed False Symmetry. It looks like Rambu's dead as well. So pink and purple are fighting.
Alright.
Does he make some epic block clutch play here?
I mean, it is Tapple. Anything can happen. He is known for both movement and PvP. Could 2v1 someone for all I know. I don't know what's going to happen here. I think he's going to get some epic PvP like a 2v1 or something.
I think he's going to use that pearl and sneak up on somebody. Get a flank. Roll the clip.
Okay, I went. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Wait, that's a that's
He just
Illumina.
ran into Illumina.
He didn't even notice him.
One of the
going
best
up, I'm going up.
PvPers.
He didn't even notice that was Illumina. Clearly, the speedrunners are teaming up. Teaming, not allowed here on the MCC.
He's trying to cover up Illumina's escape here.
Ooh, lava bucketed him.
Nice lava.
Destroyed.
And that's a very good kill on Illumina.
Oh,
no! He falls off right after.
and he falls off, bridging to end it.
Tapple. Oh no.
Tapple's truly a one-of-a-kind player.
Let's take a look at the next clip.
Oh dear, I know what's coming.
I can't see who this is or what's happening here.
This is
so.
the Lime Llamas, Fruit Berries, in
Oh.
survival games. And if
Fruit
you
berries in survival games.
and if you saw the chat logs during the game, you know that this ends very poorly.
Oh no.
Let's roll the clip and
just
see.
roll the clip.
See what happens.
See how this plays.
Oh,
Oh
my.
no. Lag into a wall. He dumps fresh lava
Oh my
onto his head.
Just takes himself out. The only one who can kill him is himself.
No, I don't have water. Fruit!
Who's our next clip from?
Alright, this next clip, it's in Oh, I know what this clip happened. This is the one I watched. You want to make your prediction?
It's Illumina on purple jumping in on him. I bet Sapnap's just gonna clean right here. Like Sapnap had the flanky maneuver. He's gonna show off the PvP skills, take Lumina down easy.
All right, let's see. Roll the clip.
Oh,
Absolute
just Sapnap was destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Oh wait, no! Don't tell me Illumina does that just to die to Quackity.
He's chasing.
Just to die to Oh my! He dies to Quackity.
Quackity. Such a good kill on Sapnap just to run in terror from Quackity, the legend.
Last clip. We're back in survival games with Quig this time.
Quig?
No idea.
He's a very good player though, so I'd love to see him pull off some amazing PvP. I don't know what happens here.
I see some names to the wall. I don't think they're his teammates because they'd be glowing. So I think they're about to get a flanking maneuver on them. I don't know.
I do like that idea. Let's roll the clip and see.
I don't know we're in here. We could jump him.
Oh, absolutely destroyed. Oh my!
God! 5 up with a ridiculous kill.
That was
That was
an insane twist ending there.
That is the same power as crossbows.
Goodness, I can't. They had the flank. They got his teammate down. I didn't see who they killed, but 5-Up reacting quickly destroys Quig with harming
That was
potions.
an amazing play, especially for his first MCC.
You think he got that from his teammate Antfrost after watching Manhunt?
Oh, very possible. That wraps up Freeze Frame. I hope you all enjoyed it. Now let's take it over to Lockie and Stein for another new segment.
Welcome to a brand new segment that me and Lockie are doing, the top 3 plays. We're going to be watching the top 3 plays from our top 10 video, which you can watch, by the way, and we're going to be giving some feedback on them. So let's watch the third best one.
The Pink Parrots won 2 rounds of Sky Battle due to their impressive tactics and ability to use the high ground to their advantage in the final circle.
So it looks like we have, I think, Tapple's perspective in Sky Battle.
Oh yeah, Pink Parrots above everyone else in the middle of the map. You can see they're using those creepers as the projectiles. I like that strategy where you place them down, you punch them onto your enemy team, sort of like a raining fire of a cannonball or something.
And notice that they're taking out green and red teams, who were the highest placing teams in the previous round, so that's big for them.
Oh, he's fallen down, but he caught himself with the cobwebs. That's really smart. I wouldn't have even thought to have like picked up cobwebs, let alone use them. And then there's a fight. That's Fruit Berries. Fruit Berries a scary machine. Look at him go, and oh, look at that, they won.
Fruit dies to the border.
Right, we got
And
some
notice,
more.
Pink was in the lead after round 2, but now Red has overtaken them, so Pink has to pull off a comeback here if they want to get first place in this game.
Yeah, so this is round 3, but they're... Oh, is that Fruit Berries again? And down he goes. Okay, so I like this.
Fruit
They're
Berries
working
went for
with...
the hero play.
It didn't work because the Pinks are sticking together, and look at that. They all won again. Look at that.
Yeah, 3 of them survived each round, and they got a lot of points from that.
Alright, shall we analyze the plays we just saw?
Yeah, this was a big breakout performance for Pink, especially a player like Ranboo, who was trying to make a name for himself in his first event.
Yeah, no, for a first-time competitor, he did really well. I mean, I think Tapple did a great job at leading his team because they were all sticking together just as one tight-knit unit, working their way up. They built above everyone else, and they would bridge out into the middle like everyone else does, but their height gave them an advantage in which they could drop TNT and creepers on their oppositions.
And I think this truly shows us that Tapple's Sky Battle in MCC 14 was kind of a fluke when he choked that one, because he's clearly back and on top in terms of Sky Battle.
He's in form, as they would say.
Let's move on to our number 2 play.
Oh, yes, I like this one. This is Yellow Yaks in Ace Race. They just pulled off a dominant performance. Look at this.
This is a team I was watching live, and I was so happy for them.
I love all the arrows, by the way. I know not relevant, but the 27 arrows really does it for me.
Yeah. Puns had an amazing finish.
Second, and Puns is a relatively new player as well. To come second, and CPK in fourth, that is... They make up 50% of the top 4 placements. That is damn impressive, if I say so
CPK
myself.
doing way better than he's ever done before in this game.
Because he's amazing. Look at that, Captain Sparkle's in 6 as well.
He's generally good at Ace Race, so he was able to keep that up. And
That
Jack
is insane.
Manifold...
Yeah, they all seem to know what they're doing. I mean, Jack, who is last MCC that he played in was his first one, and Puns is relatively new as well. And the fact that they both placed in the top 11, let alone the whole team finished in top 11, that is quite some skill.
That is incredible. Jack was not supposed to be a player that popped off in Ace Race, but he far surpassed anyone's expectations. And I remember watching Yellow. They were pretty demoralized before this game. They were thinking that they weren't going to be able to pull it off, but this sparked some hope for them, and it skyrocketed them right into second place.
Alright, now let's watch the top play of MCC 15, number 1 play. Let's see what it is.
It's Red in survival games, of course. The big pop-off from
How
Dream
could
and
it not be
Satnap.
that? This was an insane one. This was because survival games, remember, look what's happening. There's lots of fighting. Gapples, you want to use Gapples to regenerate your health, but it was quite good to see that this was a game that, going in, it was anyone's game, because the top, 5 teams were still all really close together and close to Dodgeball. And then Red came through and they're like, what if we just killed everyone and won? You know?
Yeah, this is incredible.
They're playing it smart in the zone, you can see, because the border is slowly shrinking, but they're not splitting up, because they want to get kills, but they're not going to try and just kill every single person. Look at that, Puns was already low when they ran, so that's why they went to engage and try and kill him.
And this game was big for me because I think this is the moment where Satnap became an S tier in my book, because this is where he took on a leadership role. Dream was making some calls, but Satnap was able to point out when Dream was going to lead their team in the wrong direction. And he yelled over Dream, he took the leadership role, and he led the team in the right direction, which led them to the first place in points.
Now let's head on over back to the main table to discuss our MVP choices.
Welcome to the moment you've all been waiting for, our picks for the MVP of this MCC. Starting off, I'm going to be picking Sapnap because it's an obvious choice. He got first place individually. 4,200 coins is just absolutely ridiculous. He had amazing performances in pretty much every single game, especially notably Hole in the Wall and survival games. And I think more than ever, this just solidifies his argument for the S tier if we even accept if that's a thing anymore. What do you guys think? Stein?
Well, I think the MVP is based on two factors, your individual points and how well you do in Dodgebolt. And because of that, my MVP decision is actually a tie between Sapnap and Dream, because while Sapnap got the most individual points, Dream was the one who came in clutch during Dodgeball. And don't get me wrong, Sapnap contributed a lot in Dodgeball, but Dream was the one finishing out the rounds, getting the clutch 1v2 and all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, Dream and Sapnap both took on an equal leadership role. So, Sapnap did amazing, yes, but we need to talk about Dream. After MCC 14, a lot of people were saying that Dream had fallen off. He got 19th individual, and he just didn't seem like he was playing as he was before. This was his redemption in every sense of that word. He helped lead his team to a win. He popped off in all the games. He clutched up in Dodgeball. I think that there's too much to be said about Dream and what he did in this MCC. So not just Sapnap, but Dream popped off as well. What do you think, Joey?
For me, I'm going outside the red team. Lucario, for you, I'm going the purple team. Illumina may have finished only 3rd place overall. That's also due to a unlucky string in survival games. In some of the other games, though, he was dominating. Number 1 in Ace Race. Number 1 in Skip Taylor's side. Number 1 for his team to get them to all number 1 in Sansa time. Across the board, he was leading his team, he was leading him well, and he was racking up the points. As we know, Sansa time is a broken game for the multiplied coins, and you can really change the fate of who goes to Dodgeball from it. And if Purple has survival games similar to Red, well, we would have seen them in Dodgeball instead, and it would have been due to Illumina.
Alright. My MVP has got to be the man, CPK. I am sorry. You know, he made it into the top 10 this event. He got 8th, 2,400 coins. He finally did it. You know, the subreddit laughed at him for his individual predictions. They thought he would never make it. I may have been one of those people, but he proved us all wrong, and that's why I think he's my MVP. He was on the yellow team, and they pulled off a tremendous comeback to make it into Dodgebolt as well. And I've never been wrong about anything in my life before. Ever. But I was wrong about CPK. I doubted him, and he proved all the doubters wrong, and that's what an MVP does. They get doubt thrown on them, and they prove them wrong by performing to the best of their ability, and that's what he did.
I would say I also want to honorable mention MVP to H-Bomb for subbing in after Pete's internet took him out. H-Bomb brought the energy back to that team, and Orange was able to have a good time and still perform well in those last few games.
They got 2nd in survival games. That's unreal. So, thanks for watching our post-show of MCC. Stay tuned for our shows for future events, and check out all our other videos. Consider subscribing for updates on when we upload. And on that note, we are not Nox Crew, and we'll see you next time.